Hey everybody, Sam Kavaris and the Nimnik Sports Update powered by Budweiser. That Penn State situation is going to continue to unfold, obviously. The Board of Trustees at Penn State is meeting into the night and then probably all day on Wednesday to determine what the future is of not only Joe Paterno, but also the president of the university and everybody else who might have been somewhat involved in this. While it does center on one person, and that's Jerry Sandusky, the former defensive coordinator there, and illegal acts that he performed, the amount of kind of arm's length and the amount of access that they allowed Sandusky to continue to have at the university, despite these rumblings and a culture that they weren't really sure what was going on, and in fact some reports by a graduate assistant really point to the fact that not enough people were proactive. And that seems to be where everything is going at this point. And certainly people will hopefully pay for their crimes. And the athletic director, as well as one of the vice presidents at Penn State, they're already out of a job, already charged with perjury, and may in fact go to jail in that situation. We'll keep you abreast of that as it continues to develop. Plenty of college football this weekend. Florida, South Carolina is at noon. It's an opportunity for the Gators to spoil Steve Spurrier's chance to stay in the hunt for the SEC East, but South Carolina still can win it, and they'd be rooting for Auburn in the afternoon because Georgia-Auburn is that second game. It's a CBS doubleheader at both noon and at 3:30. And up against that Georgia game is the Florida State-Miami game. Boy, think about what that game was, 15 years ago, 20 years ago, how it was prime time, how it produced so many players that we now still talk about in the National Football League, and now FSU-Miami is kind of relegated almost to a second-tier game at this point between two teams that have been disappointing not only this year but in the ACC as well. The Jaguars are on the road at Indianapolis. The Colts are still winless, and we've really gotten to the point in the season where when a team is winless, you don't want to be that team that loses to them. So that's where the Jaguars really are, and tell me there's not a fan in town that isn't saying, as a Jaguar fan, we could lose to these guys. The Jaguars at 2-6 are coming off the bye week, seem to be emotionally rejuvenated. We'll be back in the locker room on Wednesday to see exactly what their preparations are like for the Colts, as that game is 1 o'clock. And obviously very disappointing to hear that Joe Frasier died at age 67 this week. Frasier, truly one of the great heavyweights of all time. And I saw Joe fight. I've talked to him a couple of times. Really a menacing kind of guy, where George Foreman in his later years and after he won the title became kind of this, I've got this fat grilling machine, this kind of funny, almost a stand-up comedian on the talk show circuit. Frasier was a scary guy, and the way he fought was scary. Ali was absolutely afraid of the guy. There's no question. And if you ever get a chance to see the Thrilla in Manila, it is one of the great testaments to two guys pushing themselves to the point that it cost them their health in later lives. Probably cost Joe Frazier years off his life, and certainly it cost Muhammad Ali many productive years as well, and not just that fight, but that fight in particular. Take a look at that. I mean, between soaking his head in brine and the abuse that he had to take from Ali, both verbally and in the ring many times, Frazier was a great champion who'll go down as one of the top heavyweights of all time. I'm Sam Kavaris. That's the Nimnik Sports Update powered by Budweiser.